Hello, AJ Monster Trucks, and welcome to Perdue's Customs, a series where I show off my custom Spinmaster Monster Jam trucks. And episode 1 is Team Scream. As you can see, I have my currently 4 Team Scream trucks, that being Avenger 3, the Rage Chassis, Brutus 3, and Avenger 2. So without further ado, I guess I'll just go into it. We'll start out with Avenger. So, right now I've got the global body on it. As you can see here, right now it's wearing the global body. And I actually do have a second Avenger chassis that you can see in the back right there. But this one is the standard green wheelbase. And as you can see, I'll take the body off so you can see underneath there is the Avenger. That is my Avenger chassis that I use on both wheelbases. It's got all the red shocks and everything on it. I don't think no, I didn't on this one. I haven't colored in the drive shaft cage or anything. But I'll take it off the chassis here so you guys can see. The chassis right here with the red. The sway bars being red as well. Now, the Team Scream trucks are probably some of my best ones, and also my favorites to make, just because of the red components, and also something I'll explain now. Instead of using you can see on the inside, I believe, not really with the lighting, but you can see kind of a bit on the inside that it's black. Instead of using, I'll fish one out right now from my parts bin, instead of using a standard silver chassis that the Team Scream trucks would come with, I instead decided to use a black chassis and then paint it over with a silver Sharpie. And I think that just makes it look a little better. It makes it look, I think, grittier and more industrial looking. Just gives it that really, steel grit texture that I think looks a lot better on the trucks. Here's what it looks like on the red wheelbase. I apologize for my crappy lighting setup. This was done pretty quickly. But this is the red wheelbase. Also looks very stunning. I don't think I did. On this one, I do have the tie rods and drive shaft cage colored in. I'll have to do that on the green one as well. But that's what it looks like on the red wheels. Now, you also can see the bodies that I have, including now the Global Avenger body. I believe minus this mold, that's all of the current Avenger bodies that have been released. I could be mistaken, but I think that's all of them. Again, besides the one that came on this mold right here. So, I'll just go over what ones I use with each chassis. You already saw the global body, but for the green chassis, I use the... what was it? World Finals... World Finals, I want to say 6 or 7, maybe it was. The dual split paint scheme with the green wheels, which I think, especially on the orange side, I think the contrasting color gives it a pretty cool look. Next up is the S10 body, which, if you can't tell already, I've modified quite a bit. First of all, I painted the grille to somewhat resemble I tried to make it look like the modern Rage body with the grille and the headlights. It's also based on my the Apex Tour version that you can see in the Toronto show. But I also, it's kind of hard to pick up on camera here, but you can see the body has a texture. What I did was I actually went over it with a fine-tipped green Sharpie and just kind of colored in the body to give it a different shade of green and also a little bit of texture, which I think really, really helps to make this body stand out. And finally, for the green wheels, the Nomad body, which is definitely a unique build for Spinmaster. It was the first Avenger I believe they ever made. I could be wrong. They could have made the S10 version first, but the first one I remember seeing and getting was this Nomad Avenger from World Finals 19. I think it looks pretty cool with the green rims instead of the orange ones. It's a really cool Spinmaster body mold, especially considering they use a different front grille design. They use the trimmed grille design for this. And as we all know, they use the more traditional Bel Air grille for the updated actual Bel Air mold, which is very strange. I don't know what the change was for, but I do appreciate that this the Nomad body has its distinct look, which really makes it stand out as well. And now moving on to the red wheels, obviously Avenger Fire, this is the Avenger Fire wheelbase that it came with stock. So obviously Avenger Fire will use the red wheels. And then finally, I also use the red wheelbase for the World Finals 20 body, if I can get it on there with one hand. There we go. It looks really good, I think, on the World Finals 20 body on the red side, but I think on the blue side, it looks even better. Again, the contrasting colors with the blue and the red really, really makes it look cool. And I actually ran this body for a long time before I got all the other ones. Well, before all the other ones were released, I should say. This was the first time we ever saw the Bel Air mold on Avenger in Spinmaster form, and it's amazing. Next up, I'll show off the Brutus 3, aka Chris Kohler's CRC chassis. It's got the completely blacked out rims with only the silver in the middle, which I don't think the truck actually runs anymore, but there's no point in getting rid of it on the Spinmaster version. The headers are tinted gold as well on this version. And I really only have the Monstruma body right now. I do have a Brutus body that I attempted to have filed down a fit, but it didn't really work out. It's also ran as El Toro Loco and a custom version of Megalodon Fire, which I called Magmalodon for that one show. It was very, very strange, but the Monstruma body is what it runs in real life, so that's what I figured I'd show off for this showcase. And if we take it off, it actually has a custom kind of filed down back there just to more resemble the CRC. It's not a very clean job, as you can see, it's very jagged, but the Rage chassis and the Avenger chassis do not have these cuts. I haven't made them, and I probably won't make them on those ones, just for the sake of keeping some variety. But that's really all I have to say about this one. Next up, we'll move on to the Rage chassis, because this one has even less to say about it. I'll just take the body off here a minute and show off the actual chassis. Again, it's pretty much exactly the same as the Avenger chassis with the red shocks and sway bar components and the black sponsor plate area, except it has the gray rims. It's really... Oh, and in Rage, the inside is black, which, as you can see on the Avenger chassis, the inside is silver. Just a little bit of a distinction as well that I decided to make. And really, it's just a normal chassis. There's no cuts or anything. But the Rage chassis, I think, is one of my best builds of all time. And it looks really cool in Spinmaster form, I think, with the Rage body. And it's run as a couple other things. It ran as Monstruma Golden Retriever for a show. I'm trying to think of other things it's run as, but I can't really remember any. But yeah, there is Rage. And it's pretty cool looking. It's really... It was one of my, I think, first major custom project was this chassis, I believe. So it's also has some relevance there as well. Finally, we'll talk about Avenger 2, Joel Foley's chassis. Now, I never found Axe, unfortunately, so it's been running as Monstruma Rottweiler. And it's also very similar to the other Team Scream chassis with the red shocks and sway bars, except this one is different in the fact that it has the front sway bar setup. And you can see how I did that. I painted the front of the chassis there to look like a sway bar, and I think it's a pretty clever way to do it. It's really not any other way you can do it without like a custom chassis. I believe the headers are slightly tinted gold there as well, with the red rims, which admittedly didn't come out very clean, but again, it gives that truck a more gritty look, you can see, with all the silver paint. Now, it's when the body comes off that it actually shows how different it is. You can see I cut this, and then I folded the chassis bars down to kind of further resemble the shape of the Avenger 2 chassis along with the cut back. It's not perfect, and I might try to fine-tune it another time, but this is what my Avenger 2 chassis looked like. Again, a very unique build for me as well. No other truck that I have looks like quite like it. So, yeah, that's it for Avenger 2. And that's actually it for all of my Team Scream trucks. So I hope you enjoyed episode 1 of Perdue's Customs. I'll line them up for you guys one more time so you can see them in a row. That'll do it for episode 1 of Perdue's Customs Team Scream Edition. Stay tuned for episode 2. I'll probably do like Team Throttle Monster or Tomfoolery Motorsports or something like that. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed.